Audra at Home is filmed in front of a live Pitbull audience. Good morrow and merry meets to my fellow weirdos, queerdos, and brohos. Happy Pride! I am hoping that this video finds you well because I'm doing well. But if you are having a rough day, let this video be a bright spot in your day. I hope. All right, y'all. So I'm excited. It's another Terror Tuesday. I will be doing these on Tuesdays moving forward. And I have some other things lined up for these. But for now, I'm just trying to get viewership up on these videos. And I think by the time this goes up, I will have actually gotten to 100 likes on the last one, which is like, y'all are the best. So anyway, in the last one, we talked about the ritual and danger. Okay, that one was fun. And I was also doing that one like through Marco Polo. This one will have voiceover, but it won't be through Marco Polo in a wind tunnel. I will be getting drunk because I am once again filming for New Makeup Nonsense Bingo. If you like this video after I'm done with it, or you like just how it started, you know, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so then that way I can keep doing them. Also, drop your suggestions below in case I don't have something already lined up. I mean, I do, but drop suggestions because I also want to do something that you like. And I believe one of you made a suggestion on like Hulu movies. Drop those below, babes. Much love. All right, so today's video, this is a long ass intro. I feel like it's not as long as I thought it was because there's probably like a minute of me just talking to Beau about what he can and cannot put in his mouth. So today we're gonna be talking about The Invitation, which is quite honestly one of the most deeply unsettling movies I have seen in a long time. And generally, I don't seek out to watch it again, but if it comes on, like I leave the TV on for Beau, he watches Tubi all day because Tubi's free, has commercials, and unlike Hulu, that'll be like, are you still watching? And then like go off. Tubi will just play all day. So that means Beau is not by himself, like alone all day. So anyways, it'll come on. And I'm going to be putting on my makeup, occasionally popping in here and there with talking about the makeup on my face. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this one as well. Also, I'm once again gonna be using the Very Valentino foundation because baby, I'm sorry, this foundation is tits and I haven't used it in a long time. And one of the things that I really like, I mean, yes, I used it in the last one, but I'm gonna keep using it. Listen, this is my makeup playtime and I'm getting to play with my makeup. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that. And today I'm also gonna be using the Sugar Drizzle Man I Love Frog palette. They recently restocked and I bet they sold out of everything that I wanted because I forgot and I was just like doing my business. But anyways, let's go on ahead and let's get started.
Content warning. This retelling of The Invitation will include spoilers, the death of a child, cult conversation, assault leading to death, and the end of life by one's own hand. If any of this is disturbing to you, please feel free to click off this video, keep your peace, and watch the fun video tagged in the corner. Okay then, let's begin.
Not only is The Invitation one of the most deeply unsettling movies I've ever seen, this movie is from 2016. I think it's on Netflix, and I'll put them in here somewhere as to where you can watch it for free. I know for sure YouTube has it to buy or rent, so if you want to check it out, do so at your own peril. And I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it, go watch it first and then come back and watch the video. All right. Let's get started.
Okay, so the movie starts with Will, who I like to call Angry Jesus, and Kira. I don't know why this black woman is here. She has made a mistake. Anyway, they are driving in their car on their way to a house, obviously. And the thing is, it seems kind of somber and weird because he's kind of like, Angry Jesus is kind of like zoned out, you know, and Kira's trying to like call out to him. And then while they're arguing about whether or not people are a certain way, they end up hitting a friggin' coyote, y'all. This is going to be slightly graphic, but like a lot of times you don't necessarily kill them with your car. Like you don't. So he gets out and doesn't want it to suffer. And he like, just kind of clubs it to death. Yeah, he clubs it to death. So it no longer suffers. So that was fun. That was a fun intro. Anyways, they arrive at their destination. with a bit of hemming and hawing from Kira being like, you don't have to go. And he's like, I want to go. But they're there. Anyway, they arrive at the house, and it's a big house in the hills. And all I keep thinking the whole time is like, you know, Angry Jesus is with Kira and the Everclear song where he's like, me and my black girlfriend. Anyways, so sorry. They arrive at the house, which we find out that this is the house that he used to share with his now ex-wife, which Kira, first of all, girl, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry. I'm not evolved for this. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm dating someone, they're like, we're going to a really fancy house in the hills where I used to live with my ex-wife for like some stupid party. No. Girl, fuck you.
Okay, y'all, hop along is the truth. This shade is gorgeous. You see it doing all this, like, mess? Oh, my God. Whoa. I feel like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like, whoa. All right, anyways, back into wherever I am in the retelling of this movie. Okay.
So anyways, they're here. Now, as they're walking into the house, you kind of get, like, this image of a young boy, but it's kind of like a glimpse. Anyway, it is Gina and like Claire and some other guy and a gay couple. Gina is Asian and they're asking like, where's Choi? Which I guess is her boyfriend. He's chronically late. So that'll become important later, but who cares? Anywho's we're all sitting there waiting for the big reveal, and we get it. Ex-wife comes walking down the stairs in a weird white gown. Listen, it is cute, though. It's cute. But here's the thing. Instantly, I'm like, cult. That was the thing. Instantly, cult. I'm cult. That's all I had to say. And she comes down and she's all like, Will, and she's all culty and like smiley and like, oh, it's so good to see you, Angry Jesus. Anyways. And just a quick note that even though they are like exes or whatever, and he has agreed to come to this party and Kira has agreed to come to this party, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care who you, if I am with you and your ex is putting their paws on you like that, and then turns be like, you must be Audra, bitch, you must got me fucked up because I'm about to knock you out. Anyways, but Kira isn't about that life. She is not with the shits.
Okay, can we talk about how Pond is just like amping it up? Oh, bitch. This is becoming a nasty, nasty girl party, and I'm really living for it. All right. Back into it. I'm sorry.
So she just calmly is like, hi, and like warm, like, nice to meet you, all of that goodish. It's starting off on a good note. But one thing I am going to tell you is that throughout this entire movie, one of the things that makes it super duper stressful is the score, because it's really giving you like violin tension, and literally violin tension. And it just like makes you feel stressed out throughout the entire thing. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why this is like so unpleasant for me. Anyways, back into the film. So now we're being introduced to Eden. That is his ex-wife's name. It even sounds culty. Eden's new husband or boyfriend, David. And then for no reason or weird reasons, when Angry Jesus looks down the hallway, there is a woman who is wearing a shirt but no bottoms. And she's just staring out. And then she walks back into the room. And I'm like, girl, put some pants on. Why your pom-pom out like that? This is a party for everyone. Who said you could do that? Anyways, we're going to move on. We have a lot of introductions. Everybody's super excited that Will has decided to come because there has been, from what we can tell, something awful that has happened. Like everybody kind of is like, we're so glad that you came, Will. We didn't know if you were going to come. And you can tell something horrible has happened in this dynamic for him to basically have been gone for 2 years, it looks like, because everybody seems to be like, oh, I haven't seen you in 2 years. It's been 2 years since I've seen you, Will. So good to see you. Can't believe you came out here, Will. Anyways, there's some kind of drama happening. We don't exactly know yet, but we gon' find out. So anyway, the party is hippity hopping and oh Lord, here comes that man. Anytime this man shows up in a movie, you know shit's gonna pop off somehow, some way, because This actor never plays anybody with all the screws. He always plays somebody with like 37 screws missing, never to be found again. But he's in, and now they're going to play a game of I want. I think that's what happens next. Now, I could be confused because my conception of time and order of things could be wrong. So anyway, they go around, they start playing I want, because they are in a cult.
Not in a cult. I know plenty of people
They
who
are in a cult. And they start talking about something called the invitation that people get. And even though like everybody else is trying to be chill, like you, the viewer, knows, like, this is a fucking cult. I'm not chill. Like, y'all need to get up out of here because cults are bad for you. Just like, I mean, granted, I do see some of the benefits of a cult. Don't at me. Don't at me. You know what I mean? Maybe not having a job that works you so hard. Do you have to work the land? Probably. Yes. Might I have to be one of the wives? Possibly. But, you know, I'm good at cooking. Maybe I could just be a cook. Anyway, I digress. The point is, they start playing I Want. And David at some point had said something about how he used to be a coked out addict until he got the invitation. And now he's like, you know, super chill and just drinks red wine with no shoes on. And Gina is like, well, I want some of that coke you used to have. And he was like, all right, I got some. And she was like, what? No, I don't want any cocaine. But he's like, yes, you do. And it's fine. That's the whole point of the game. Like, you say what you want. And so she's like, all right, then I guess I will take some. So he gives her a bag of coke, which is really weird considering he said he was an addict. Like, why do you still have some? Anyways, we'll find out exactly why he probably still has some. So as this moves forward, I think Eden says, like, I want to kiss. I cannot remember that man's name, but he is the man in red and she wants to kiss him. So he's like, oh, Dave, that's his name. And he's like, oh, all right then. And he gets up and he gives her like a little peck. She's like, And then she goes in. She goes like all the way in, like tongue kissing, head nodding, bobbing, ow, ow, ow. And everybody's like, ooh, snap. And so then it gets to that man in the back. I can't remember the name of this man. He's bald. We'll just call him Danger because that's who he is in every movie, Danger. So Danger gets up and is like, I want my wife. And then he proceeds to tell the most disturbing story about how he was drunk driving. And you think that wait. Let me back up, because prior to Danger arriving at this party, David puts on this video confirming that it's a cult.
This is our home in Sonora, Mexico, and it is your home too, if you choose it.
I cannot even begin to express how much the moment you turned this laptop on and it said, this is your home, and the music started playing, like, I am gone. I'm sorry. I don't care how expensive that wine was. I am leaving. This is weird. This is not a fun party. Who's going to this party? You know, it's like the sexy one where they have the sexy toys and they're like, hey, I'm like, no, goodbye. Same feeling.
We invite you to a conscious existence, to a connected. Wherever you are, we transcend.
And I don't know how else to describe this, but basically after the cult part where it's like, we all want to be a part of something and reach our inner selves, there is a portion of a woman just leaving this earth. She's like, you know, she is not doing so hot. She is doing very poorly, obviously. And then she passes on to the next plane. Now, I don't know about y'all, but like, that's the part where I'm leaving. You know what I mean? I'm leaving this party. You just showed me a woman passing on to the next plane. I'm good, fam. Your wine is not that good. You know what I mean? It's been 2 years. Let's make it 2 more.
All right, now going back in time, Danger is now ready to talk about what he wants, and he starts talking about how he and his wife were like together and she was beautiful and effervescent and fabulous and fantastic. And he talks about how he was drinking, and you think that it's drunk driving.
That is it, that they were like drunk driving, but that is not it. I'm going to let him tell it for you. It is fucking horrifying.
I think of her quite a bit.
Did she pass away?
Yeah, she did. We had been drinking. I went to pour myself another drink. She tried to stop me, and something just gave. I turned and hit her as hard as I could. Her knees buckled. She hit her head. I think she was trying to get back up. And she had her hand out. She was staring at me. And then she collapsed and she was gone.
So now Danger has told this story, and the only one who has any damn sense is, I think her name is Grace. And Grace is a blonde lady, and she's been kind of like hanging out in the background a little bit, but she's like, you know what? This shit is wild. I gotta go. Like, I'm really not comfortable being here anymore. I wasn't comfortable in the first damn place, but now that you done told me this story about how you killed your wife, sir, I don't care that you spent time in jail. What I'm telling you is that you said you got randomly enraged and knocked your wife the fuck out. And then you want me to spend the rest of my evening at this party with you. I don't think so. I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch. So she is like, I am leaving. Now at this point, Will, I'm going to try to refer to him as Will instead of Angry Jesus, because like, I don't want to offend nobody, but he does look like Angry Jesus. Anyways, at this point, Will is starting to get like uneasy. And so, listen, when you're watching this, you the viewer, you're like, I don't like the way that this is going. And you're right. You don't like the way that this is going. It is terrifying. It is freaky and it is weird. But Will is feeling uneasy, especially with, Danger in the fucking room. And Will's like, no, let her go. Let her leave if she wants to leave. Like, what the hell? And he seems unreasonable, right? Because everybody else seems to just kind of be like, I mean, he paid his debt to society. These people are something else. Like, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care how fancy your house is. If you invite me over and then you show me your cult video, and at the end of your cult video is someone dying, and then we play a game of I Want, and then someone admits to murder, I'm good, fam. I'm a go. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be here anyway. I'm black. I should go. Kira, I'm looking at you, girl. So anyway, Grace decides to leave.
Okay, I had a whole situation with that eyeliner. And just the thing, like I had, like it over squirted, and then I just you have to calmly see your way through this kind of shit. Now look at that line. It's gorgeous. You know what I mean? I'm sure you saw it if I left it in there. But like, if you just leave this shit alone and like don't panic, you'll be okay. Turn every mistake into something glorious, like in Honey. Anyways, I'm gonna wash my hands because this thing like just, there's like an explosion. I don't really know. But on to the movie.
And then Danger's like, oh, wait a minute. Are you in the Prius? She's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm parked behind you. Now, the thing is, I'll get there. I don't know if Grace, we'll get there. Anyway, he goes out to do that whole thing. And when they come back in, David locks the door, and like Will's like, yo, why are you locking the door and taking the key? And David's just like, it's not a big deal. Like, and Will's like, yeah, it's kind of odd. Like, why wouldn't you just leave the key in there? And he's like, well, this is my house and I live here now. But if it makes you feel better, and then he leaves the key in. Now, first of all, sir, this was my house. I know you live here now, but when it was my house, we didn't just take the key. And also, you just showed me your cult video. I'm suspicious as fuck of you, okay? And your friend. And I completely forgot to tell you that in the middle of the game, I Want, or early in the game, you know that girl I was talking about earlier who was half naked, like from the bottom down, bottom naked? She's at this party and she gets introduced. Who cares what her name is? Because she is wild. She's all like, I love you all. Like, listen, I'm going to show you this right quick. It is freaky. Like, if you didn't leave when she started talking, and you didn't leave after the like, I punched my wife and she died story, everything that happens now, it's just like, I'm not saying you asked for it because I'm not a victim blamer, but I'm also not going to say you didn't ask for it. I'm going to say you made some really poor mistakes. Anyway. So Will just kind of walks out because he just needs like a breath of fresh air or whatever. He's like, let me just like step away from this situation because shit is getting weird and tense in here. So he steps away and he sees Eden in what used to be their bedroom. And she seems to have something and she sticks it in this drawer. So of course, since he's lived here before, he goes wandering around, goes into the room, checks it out. It's a bunch of pills. And he's like, what the hell? Why do you have all these pills? And then he says something to one of the gay dudes who one of them is named Doctor. One of them is not named Doctor. One of them is a doctor. And then one of them is called Miguel. I don't know which is which. I think Miguel is the doctor. We're going to do that. And so he tells him that, and guy's like, oh, okay, Snoopy. And then he starts, like, this is where I'm like, y'all suck, because they start having some drinks or whatever. And that dude rats out Will.
Will thinks you guys are on pills.
Like, what the fuck, fam? I told you that in confidence, and you're ratting me out to these people? Like, I was snooping, and you know what? You're gonna regret that later. Anyways. So at some point they have a nice little spread. There's delicious food everywhere. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter, because after that man admitted to murder, I would not have seen this delicious spread. I would not be drinking your tasty wine. I would be gone. But they are. And, you know, Will gets up. He goes outside again, sits by the pool. And that wacky ass girl who was half naked and loves everybody comes out. And she tells Will some wild shit. Will's like, no, I'm good. I'm good, girl.
You could fuck me right here.
What?
Why should we deny ourselves over? That's what it was like in Mexico, man. Everyone was just going for it. It was awesome.
I think you need to go back inside.
You don't like me?
I don't know you.
I could make you like me so much.
Sadie.
You can hurt me if you want.
I'm showing it to you, I hope. But anyway, so she says that shit, and I'm like, girl, therapy. Anyway, we are also finding out that essentially the reason that Will has been gone all of this time is because at the very latest, 2 years ago, Eden and Will lost their son due to some kind of accident. I feel like it has to do with the pool. They don't exactly show you everything that happened, but it seems, or you can infer, that Will should have been watching their son, I think his name is Ty, closer. And he unfortunately drowned in the pool, which is really, really sad. So he's having a really hard time. And so as you're watching it, you do feel like some of his suspicion is coming from the reality that his son is gone and will never be back. And now he's in the house where it all happened, and he hasn't been there, and he's here with his new black girlfriend. And it's just feeling weird in this house. And also, like, it feels like Eden doesn't really care, and she's all like light and love, and he doesn't feel like she is sad at all. And neither do I. I don't feel like she's sad, but I do. Like, if you can really see the expressions on her face that she is hiding, like all of the weird like unders of her like smiles and all this, it feels like goodbye to me personally. Anyway, if you remember Dr. Choi from a long time ago, who is that one girl's boyfriend, I'm like, that one girl's boyfriend. I'm bad with names. The Asian lady, I'm so sorry. Don't get mad at me. I remember people by varying features. Anyway, we'll call her Cocaine Lady. That's better. Cocaine Lady. We've been trying to figure out where her boyfriend is, right? Because throughout the thing they ask, like, where's Choi? I don't know. He's like, well, while Will was outside with, no bottom half, he finally is able to check his voicemail, because a long time ago, we find out, because they're in a house on the hills, that they're having trouble getting signal. And this movie was made in 2016. So you're like, girl, what? Wi-Fi exists, but they did not pay their Wi-Fi bill. So it is very difficult for anyone to make a call. This becomes important right now, because finally Will is able to check his voicemail, and there is a voicemail from Choi. And he's like, Will, it's Choi. I'm early for once. I'm standing outside. I'm about to go in. If you could get the pie, that would be great.
Okay, because I know this question might come up. The highlighter is the shade croaky. Like, because somebody's going to ask. And I'm going to be like, this is your gentle reminder to use the whole palette however the fuck you want to. All right, let's go.
And so Will comes in, and all his suspicions, and so are mine, are filled. Like, where is Choi? And he starts throwing this big ass fit, like, where is Choi? And you know what? I want to know where Choi is too, because this party is freaky and weird, and I didn't sign up to come to this weird ass, dark ass party. I thought we might we might have a hot tub orgy, which is not good for your genitals. Don't do that. But I thought that might be a possibility. Or I could at least watch it. I don't want to partake, you know? Voyeurism is a thing. Anyway, he is screaming about Choi, and then this happens.
Okay, why are all the bars on the windows?
Why is there a big fucking bottle of phenobarbital stashed in your bedroom?
Jesus Christ, Will.
We should go.
No, something very dangerous is going on here, and nobody's talking about it. We're all just ignoring it because David brought out some good wine.
Like a whole fight breaks out because he's like, there's some weird shit going on here and nobody's talking about it. And Kira finally has some sense of like, you know what? We are going home. We are leaving. We're leaving. And then, surprise, bitches!
Choi?
I'm so sorry.
It is unfortunately Choi. Like listen, I was on board. If you felt like I did, you were like, there's no way. There's no. But Choi is there and you're like, for fuck's sake. So now Will looks even more like unhinged. He's been looking unhinged throughout this entire thing. And now he looks super unhinged and he's just like upset. And he looks at Eden and he's just like, I just don't understand why you aren't sad. Our son is gone. I miss him. What is all this like bullshit? And she's like, you can't be mad at me for grieving the way that I want to grieve. And she is right. And he's like, can I go to his room? So he goes to his son's room, which is poignant and heartbreaking. So while Will is sitting in the room and he kind of looks out the window and he sees David go out there with like this red lantern and light it. And he's like, all right, I'm going to rejoin everybody and just calm down. Obviously, I am paranoid and I'm just reading too much into it because my ex-wife is in a freaky ass cult. So he sees all of that and he also like flips up the laptop and he sees the video from the cult leader. And the video, I'm going to have to show it to you.
Skepticism can be contagious. I wouldn't have known either before I saw the new truth and shared it with you. This beautiful moment is upon us. Tonight is the night our faith is made real.
So my question is, did you get like the kind of ook feeling that I got when I heard? Okay, anyways, I feel like you did. I feel like you felt the ominous presence of that video. Okay, all right. So they are finishing up dinner. They also had a cake because it was one of the partners' birthday. And it's all like, oh, y'all, he blew on the cake. Now, I know that people are like, oh, in a pandemic. And obviously this was before the pandemic. But like, why were people blowing on cakes beforehand? Because that shit was disgusting then. I don't even care about like germs. It's just gross. You're spitting all over the fucking cake when you blow out the candles. Nobody wants your spit cake. Like, let's let that tradition die. Okay? Thank you. And so anyway, they're all like doing a toast and it looks very sweet, but also very creepy because Eden is kind of like being, I don't know how to explain it, but she looks a bit shaky, a bit odd. And, you know, so does David kind of like, they just look weird and they're passing around what appears to be dessert wine, right? And then David and Eden have this kiss, which when she looks at him that way, I already feel suspicious. And so too does Will, because Will's looking at this like angry Jesus. He's like, hold up, wait a minute. That kiss looks creepy and I ain't with it. So they all go to drink and he's just like standing there. And you're kind of wondering, like, is he feeling what I'm feeling? Are you feeling what I'm feeling? And the answer is yes. Yes, he is. Because as they raise a toast and they begin to drink, I feel it in the air. And like, Will is like, you know what? I don't think. And then Will freaks the fuck out.
Don't drink it! Don't fucking touch it!
Will, we can't invite Will to parties, y'all, because he's always breaking all the glasses and shit. Half nude, wild ass girl goes running up and be like, you ruined it. And Will's like trying to get her off of him. And then she goes, bam, and smacks her head on this thing, knocks the fuck out. And they're like, oh shit. So they go over and try to help Wild Girl. And they're like, oh my God. And then you hear, she's not breathing. And then Dr. Miguel is like,
No, she's breathing.
Not Sadie, Gina.
and Choi's girlfriend over there, she drank up all that wine. And you know what? She over there just dripping foam from her mouth. Foam, fam. See, Will was right the whole time. And so were you when you were watching this. Because the thing is, this buildup has been making you feel like you are uncertain of your own mind. But you were right. And it starts getting wild at this point. This is where the movie hits its penultimate point. Well, almost. Anyway, it's getting a little wild. Miguel goes over to doctor her, clearing her airway and shit. Next thing you know, boom, David got a gun, done blowed Miguel the fuck away. Girl, what? Then you see Danger Man come over and talk that gun back from David. And you're like, good, finally some sense. Maybe my feeling about that man was wrong. Incorrect, your feeling was right. Because guess what? He starts shooting everybody, blowing folks away. Now, it is a real life panic. They locked in this house. They trying to run, but all the doors are locked. And they're like, oh my God, where are we gonna go? And then Will's got Kira and they're having to fight off everybody. It is wild in this motherfucker. And it is just becoming a wild ass mix. And you're nervous. I'm nervous. You got a little gas going. I do. I feel gassy right now because the concern, you know, I hold my fear in my booty hole like a normal person. Everybody does. You can say it's left over from our reptilian days. Anyway. So now it is Will and Kira, and he's like, girl, it's you and me against the world. We are going to get out of this house no matter what. She's like, okay, boo. And they try to get out, but like he used to know the house, but he don't know the house now. And I really think that they changed that door because they knew that they were part of a fucking end of life cult. I'm going to call it that for monetization purposes. So they knew that they were doing that. And so she knew that Will would know the house and would be able to get out of the house, and she couldn't let him get out the house. But now things are getting a little wild because what was supposed to happen is that they were all supposed to drink that damn dessert wine and die. But what did happen is Will was rightfully suspicious, as he should have been, like, no. And so now this has turned into a bloodbath. There are bloody people everywhere. They're having to fight folk off. It is becoming massive. And you know what? In the end, Kira ends up jacking up Danger. Just boom, boom, boom over his head because he was trying to kill them. She was like, not today, Hoss. And she saves Will from getting ended by Danger, right? But before that, I forgot to tell you, there's this scene I wanted to show you because, like, she is guttural.
You have to help me. You can't leave me. Dr. Joseph said it was going to be hard.
And so, like, Will sees this and he's just like, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe, like, I know we got divorced and I know our son died, but you really invited me over for your death cult bullshit? I cannot believe it. Anyway. So they get into the room and they are finally like able to escape. Will, Kira, they're going to make it. They're like super excited. And then they run into Eden. And guess what? Eden shoots Will because that woman ain't shit. And then y'all, she shoots herself in the gut. And she is like, I'm so sorry. And so I think David is still alive and he's trying to get up there and get them after this has taken place. Luckily, there's one other survivor and he is part of the gay couple and he survived, but Miguel did not. I'm so sorry, Miguel. You lived as well as you possibly could have before you got sucked into all of this misery. And so the three of them are like, all right, because like, the three of them make it and they're like kind of going outside. And he's like, listen, I got to go get Miguel, Jesus, you know, like, I mean, Miguel's dead, but, you know, he don't want to leave him in that house of horrors. So he walks out to go do that. And then Kira and Will, like, hear screams and, like, helicopters and shit. And he kind of glances over at the lantern and looks out over the hills.
Kira.
And that's the end, fam.
All right, y'all, this is the final look. I trust the process, I guess, because I kind of like this. Like, it's giving me, like, no brows but brows. Like, I have them, but, like, do I? I feel very queer, and I'm very excited about it. I feel like super gay right now and it's giving me joy. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, if you haven't already, because I told you at the beginning to give it a thumbs up, but like, If you haven't yet, what are you doing? Please do so now. Also, as usual, this video, like all of my videos, is sponsored by my patrons and channel members, without whom I would not be able to create this super fun content and enjoy playing with my makeup again. I'm having such a good time with this. Do you like the like sunburn, like, because I love a sunburn blush, baby. I enjoy it. All right, y'all, remember it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of it, me and my army of spider demons will definitely take care of yours for you. All right, until next time, XOXO. Gothic girl. I like this. I wasn't even sure where I was going with it, but like, baby, this is a joy.